Hey guys, we're back. We have a new mic, a new setup, and a new camera, and a new topic. So everything's new today. Most of you, probably all of you, don't know this, but all of the music in our videos, all the background music, except for a couple of select small sections, I've actually composed myself. I've been composing for over 7 years. I've been in piano since I was like 8. So I've had a lot of experience, and I wanted to share some of that experience with you today. There's actually a strong correlation between music and storytelling. Perhaps this will help some of you in your brains better understand storytelling, but also, of course, music itself. So, see, I'm prepared today. Okay. And perhaps music itself. So, grab your favorite hot drink and let's get started. So, I'm going to walk you through a bit of a process of how I approach composing. I did not start with sheet music per se. Where I started was the piano. I started with improvising, tuning my ear to hear the differences with different patterns. There are different terms in music. You're probably aware, if you've ever done music before, that music theory can be confusing. And there's a lot of terms for things like mode, phrases, arpeggio, staccato, yada yada. And while I knew a few of those things when I started, when I was 8, I had lessons for a couple years to learn sheet music. Most of the time, how I learned to compose was actually by just sitting at the piano and improvising. I learned patterns of things and later learned what they were called within music theory. I didn't learn it first in music theory 99% of the time. I think there's an advantage to this, not saying you shouldn't learn what they're called, but it allows you to not be restricted. When you're not playing sheet music, all you have is your ears and your fingers. And that allows you to branch out and be more free in how you approach things. Okay, so not all of that sounded great, and some parts sounded really cool. Now I'm going to take bits and pieces that I liked from that and see what we get. Welcome to where all the magic happens, the couch. Yeah, that's true. I don't really use a desk much, ever, unless I'm gaming. So I realized when I started improvising, I thought, oh, I'll start in a minor key. I don't think I started in an actual minor key. But in any case, I liked where I had it going with G minor, so that's what I have set in my program here. This program is called Flat Music Editor, I think. No promotion or anything, just honestly, it's pretty solid. There's a free version, and I've been using it for years. Really like it. If you can't read sheet music, it might be a bit of a challenge. But if you can read sheet music, this will help you get a lot better. Okay, so G, E, no, G, F, E, D. It's nice and easy to just go start on the root note, in this case, where you're G, then go down one note 4 times or 3 times, so you have 4 notes. I liked the beginning of it where it went, I think it was E, F, G. No. I'm going to play with it for a bit and give you samples as we go. You know, I thought I was playing in the key of G minor, but I don't actually think I was after all. Because I wasn't playing the B flat. Hmm. I don't know what key I was playing in exactly. But that's okay. I know what notes we were going for. There we go. That sounds more ominous. I like that. It's a nice solid start. Very like slightly ominous, but intriguing at the same time. This is what we got so far. I ended that on like a suspended fourth or something, so it doesn't sound complete. It sounds like it's going somewhere. I'm treating G as my root note, even though I'm pretty sure, let's see. It's almost like creating a C chord given the notes. But anyway, G down to F, E, and then D. And what I discovered was a harmonic minor, I think it's called, while I was improvising. And I'm looking to put that into here. I chose to stagger when the left hand comes in from the right hand. When you do that, it creates a lot more space and makes it feel more airy. Also, I kept the timing consistent, so every time there's the note holding, it holds for 2 beats. And then here, I decided to continue it a little longer, that it holds for 2 beats. That's not going to be perfect the whole time, but maintaining that timing is what makes something soothing. You begin to feel like it's predictable, but in an interesting way. I'm going to start this a little earlier. When I want to add one more beat in there, what I'll do is I'll add a measure. Then I'll make both of these 3/4 instead of 4/4. That creates a 5th beat in the timing. Glorious timing. I'm going to add a little pedal in here. See if it breaks well with one measure or if I need to extend it differently. You get to freely choose what you want to do. And that's what's so awesome about composing, is that you get to combine things, experiment constantly. And in the end, you get something that's really pretty. And you get to discover it for the first time. And so fun, actually. Huh. You know, I've been doing this a while, and I still surprised myself. I was going for a harmonic minor, and I'm not sure what I got, but it sounds cool. All right, here's what we've got. we're getting somewhere. With arpeggios, a lot of the time the notes can sound like they got lost. You don't want it to sound muddy, but the highest high and the lowest low notes are probably the ones most often emphasized, and the ones that if you just change a little bit, it changes the entire feel, even if all the notes stayed there. Oh, yeah, you can really hear the difference. Oh, yeah. Changing dynamic like that is how you can create the feel of layering, even if like there's not multiple things playing at once. I really like to switch up tempos. So like I'll have the left hand go really fast, but I'll have the right hand going slow in order to balance out where everything's moving. If everything's doing the same thing all the time, it gets boring. Also, I like to add in 1.5 notes. So I'm 4/4. So the left hand is going to keep doing everything in increments of 4/4. But if I add in 1.5 notes or eighth notes plus sixteenths, it adds a variation ratio of 2/3, something like that. Sounds pretty cool. Ooh, that sounds nice. It's easy. An easy mistake is to add too much variation, too much unpredictability, and it can make everything just sound really not fun, like stressful, because your brain can't identify a pattern. So there's no groove for it to fit into. It's like, stressing out trying to figure out what's going on. Because I'm going to add more, I think I'm going to add some intervals, which it's easy to create a layered melody or something that sounds like two melodies at the same time. If you have your main theme going and then you add in a couple of intervals over top, that may last longer or shorter depending on what you're going for, or chords. That's what I find to be the most handy tool when creating a more complex full melody. It's those intervals. Love those. Adding a little bit of predictability with the beginning of the melody always is helpful. Ooh, I'm liking that. Right here, after the key change, I have it, pretty space with the C on the top holding for a long time, but I don't want it to be as fast as what's coming up. So instead of choosing 16th notes, I'm going to choose eighth notes. I'm going to change the timing on this a little bit, on the little flare here where it climbs. But then I'll probably keep the descent the same on a measure 18 here. So keep in mind that with the rising and falling, the emphasized notes, the right hand doesn't necessarily need to carry the whole melody. The emphasized notes on the left hand here are also contributing to that melody. So right here, instead of putting another note after this one, so I held this for one beat, I'm holding this for two because I want this note here to have space to hold with the pedal. You see, you just gotta fiddle with it. Gotta fiddle with it for a while to figure out what I like the most. I really love the going down and then up, this measure right here. But I don't think it has enough pizzazz. So we're going to add a little bit more dynamic, which basically just means how loud the notes are. We're going to make it a little more emphasized. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to change this to a G. And the reason is that G, in like chord music theory, G always leads back to C. And that means it makes you expect to hear a C chord. And they always go really well together. Well, guys, that took a while. It is now evening time, hence the change in lighting. I hope this video is helpful to you, and here we are. We went from this to this to this. I continued working on that song a bit more off camera. I hope that the tips throughout were helpful to you, maybe some things you've been struggling with, and creative solutions to those different types of situations and questions that I don't think are really talked about very often. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you'd like me to do more music videos, things you wanted to learn, if you want to hear more music. I hope to be publishing some music in the future, but I'm not sure how near in the future with the farmers market coming up in Nampa. If you guys want to keep up to date with all the projects and things that are going on behind the scenes, go ahead and check out our website, scroll down the home page, sign up for the newsletter. We post first Monday of every month so that you never miss a beat. Wow, that was cheesy. All right, guys, get out there and get creative.